But I feel like the off lane for Zai is where they want to experiment, not so much with Arteezy's heroes.
And Zai had been practicing a lot of.
They could do like an off lane Ricky for Zai or something. It would work for Zai.
No, but it has to be Arteezy.
No, but it would work as well for because Zai was also on EG.
That is true.
So
Yeah.
That was skill build though.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true.
Obviously, the max backstep first. Is that even debatable?
Backstab first. So, anyways, yeah, that is going to be. Anyone thinks EG is the favorite coming into this game?
I think EG are going to win.
Okay. I need to update the whiteboard, by the way. I'm going to do that in a second, but you think
I don't know
EG is
about
gonna
favorites, but I feel
they're hungrier and a little more
Yeah, yeah.
desperate, but a little more. It's more important for them.
Are they
to win this game.
thirstier, though?
Yes, they're staying very thirsty.
This game just feels very much like the Secret versus Cloud9 game, where sure, Secret won that game, but they're going to just be taking a more laid-back approach towards it, kind of getting in the mentality more to like prepare for the main event. So I don't know. I think it's just a gut thing where I feel like EG have a lot more to prove right now.
Blitz.
I'd say if the records were 0-0, Secret take this like 60% of the time. But I think I agree with what God said in the regard that they are 13-0. They don't really have a lot left to prove. They've secured themselves like a top 3 finish in the groups, so things don't really matter for them as much. I think if anything, they play for pride, so that might even things out. Because you could tell the other person like, yeah, I crushed you in that game, and that was like the first game that they really played against each other since then. So that might have like a mental edge. But I think, man, I really want to say EG, but I think just to play devil's advocate against gods when we cast, I'll say Secret.
There's an interesting thought as well. The Secret is playing both EG and Vici Gaming now. If, provided they lose both games, and EG and Vici Gaming, either of them win all their games, they're going to be on top of Secret because the tiebreaker will favor them. So it's not entirely guaranteed that they will have the first place. So they might want to at least win one of these games. And I mean, the first game is EG. If they win versus EG, then they can go versus Vici Gaming with absolutely nothing to lose. But this game, there is the first place in, at risk. Although, however, I would say that the first place matters a little bit less in most tournaments, because in most tournaments, if you're first, you get to pick from the bottom 2 who you're gonna play.
Or sometimes you even get a seed into the next round.
Exactly. In this case, if you're first, you have to play the 8th teams, and with all the teams being very even in that 6-9, 6-10 pack, you don't know if you're gonna get an easy team or one of the hardest teams that had a little bit of a tough luck. I mean, we were talking about how Ehom was slightly disappointing, but if Ehom gets into 8th place, I don't know, it feels like a bit of a scary rival.
Well, if they get into 8th place, it means they're coming in hot because they
Yes.
do really well today. So, a team that maybe could spoil you. I feel like what are some of the other teams? Can we take a look at the top 8 real quickly?
I think Cloud9, Hellraisers are
Yeah.
both of the potential. And
Is Big God pretty? They could
Big
end
God
up
is
like
safe.
5th or 6th.
they
though.
can't end 8th.
See, I feel like Big God and Navi, Big God, Navi, IG. To me, these are 3 teams that you really don't want to be facing around one of the bracket if you have a choice. Like the way the teams are playing right now, I don't know. It looks like Hellraisers, Cloud9, maybe an eHome if they sneak in the top 8. Those are teams that I think, if you had your choice, if your pick of the litter, probably Secret, EG, Vici, they'd most prefer to play one of those teams.
Yeah. I'm going to ask Blitz because the rest of us were here yesterday. We have on top 8, Cloud9, Hellraisers, EG, Secret, and Navi. All 5 Western teams are on top 8
Right now.
right now.
Okay, so what is your...
Are they going to... we're going to have 5 teams in top 8 by the end of the day.
Who's the lowest? Is it C9?
C9 that needs to play 3 games still.
The main thing is they have to
And
beat
Hellraiser.
LGD. If C9 loses to LGD, then they're not top 8. I
So
believe
do-
it's how
Unless
it
they
works.
win both their other 2 games.
Yeah.
And
So
LGD
yeah.
loses the remaining ones.
So do I think that C9 can beat LGD?
And Hellraisers can beat... Sorry, let me tell you. Rave and Tongfu.
You know what? Hellraisers is hard to predict for. Just because of the way they draft, they play a really shaky style, where when things look good, they look really good. And when things look a little bit off, they look really off. Like, they picked Bloodseeker against, was it Secret? And it started off looking amazing.
Yeah.
And then things just, like, spiraled completely out of control. But I think C9 has a better chance than Hellraisers to stay in.
Really?
Yeah.
They have on paper the much tougher games today.
Yeah,
I think in most
but I
PKLs.
think C9 is still the better team.
Okay.
I would still probably take them. It looks like things are a little bit off. EE looks a little bit tilted, but I feel like if he can take if he can turn it around a little bit, then they
channel his energy into.
Man, let's not be
some
Twitch
spirit
gamers right
bombs.
now.
They have a really tough day. They have IG, EG, and LGD.
I honestly wouldn't be surprised if Cloud9 is in top 8. In fact, I don't think they will be.
Okay.
I think they lose at least 2 of those.
Okay,
games.
so Secret and Evil Geniuses. The game has started. We still don't have even one ban. So before that happens, final predictions: EG or Secret? 1-1.
I'm gonna stick with EG.
EG.
I'm gonna cover my hand so I don't see the ban.
Because that would
I
change
see you
everything.
peeking out of the corner of your eye.
I can't, dude. I have terrible peripheral
How
vision.
can you see? I can see his eyes.
Yeah, I just
But
you
you
have
have
no
eyes.
idea where I'm looking right now. I say Secret.
Okay, I'm gonna stick. I think PPD takes this. He's out of all the drafters in the tournament, top 2 or 3 at being able to match wits with Puppy, and EG a bit more desperate. I also am gonna go out on a limb and say I think Vici will also beat Secret.
Oh,
I think
wow.
they lose 2 games.
Wow. I'm going to go with Blitz. High five. Secret boys.
You and me, boy.
Today. Right. The Davids. Yeah.
We got this.
homie. Easy.
We're going into the draft. EG versus Secret. The match of the group stage. Let's see it. Lion Axe bans. No, none of these like let's ban Shadowfiend, let's ban Chen, let's ban... No. Let's ban Lions.
So one of the interesting heroes is going to be that Shadow Fiend. This has been a go-to pick. It generally seems like Secret favor the Lycan if they have their way, but both teams love that hero. Chen also a big point of contest. AUI loves the hero. Puppy's been playing it possibly the most in the tournament.
I'm wondering what's up with this Enigma ban. That feels like just a kind of a not so much a throwaway ban, but I feel like they didn't want to ban one of the top tier heroes because it's like we'll give them Lycan and take something in return.
And we'll get like Chen Shadow Fiend or
Has
something.
Puppy play Enigma at all this tournament? I don't think they have.
One game maybe. I think there was one game that I remember casting. Yeah.
One game, okay. So, unusual bans. And this is interesting because sometimes when you... And I'll ask you, Blitz. When facing a very good team, would you ban the meta strong heroes rather than their best heroes individually? Or would you rather ban the players and not the meta game?
I think you, in a matchup like this, you definitely try to go to ban the hero or the players. Like, giving up an Arteezy Lycan is really dangerous right now. And the hero might not be the strongest in the meta, but I mean he plays it like it is.
Yeah.
And when you, especially with that first pick Shadow Fiend, like who does that? The only reason you're doing that right now is because Sumail looks really comfortable on the hero. You want to take that out, so it's kind of like a ban by taking it as well.
Okay.
I feel like EG wanted Secret to take Lycan first and then get
Get the
like
SF.
the Chen SF or something.
I mean, they could take both of them right now if they wanted. Or no, they
Yeah.
definitely can't.
No.
Because then
Well,
what
not
would,
anymore.
then what would S4 do?
Yeah.
Unless that's like some wicked strategy and they
Hey.
have like SF in the short lane.
So they go for the puck. I believe it's been Universe mostly playing at this tournament.
Fear.
It was Fear for
Fear
a
used to
while
play,
when
yeah.
Arteezy was the mid. I know Sumail does play it, but I don't know if he has been in this event too much. He's been slightly more on like carry type mids.
I don't think you give Sumail
Shadow
this
Fiend,
game.
even Invoker,
Yeah.
Storm, of course. Yeah.
He's young. He's like an emotional player. You need to give him some sort of snowballer.
What do you make of the Witch Doctor? Is that just to like discourage a Chen pick a little bit if you want to go for some tower dives early? It's kind of an early Witch Doctor.
I mean, with Lion and Venge out of the way, though, it's
Yeah.
probably justifiable.
One of the best supports for Mania, you think?
Yeah, it's really good against Shadow Fiend, too, because what, SF gets a BKB, and then you just keep ulting. It still hits.
At Secret, still go for the Chen. So I think no surprises here. These are like out of the Puck Witch Doctor a little bit less expected, I would say, for EG, but definitely for Secret, these are 2 of their standards. But it is interesting to see them prioritize the Shadow Fiend over the Lycan.
I mean, both teams have ignored it. And the question is, are you scared of the Lycan when you're playing Shadowfiend Chen? Because it feels like you're going to enact a lot of pressure at the beginning of the game, and you might not be able to. The Lycan might not be able to develop the way.
Lycan's not a hero EG is running really right now.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
if it was any other team, Secret wouldn't have taken the SF, and they would have gone for the Lycan.
Mhm.
But it serves the dual purpose of taking it away from Sumail and being able to take it.
Yeah.
You have a player that can play it really well. You might as well.
And the one thing I will say is Sumail has not been getting nearly as much help as Arteezy mid. So I wonder if EG look to change that this game, or if they have something special prepared for him, or if they just stick to their guns and look to make up for it elsewhere.
When you play with Aoi, you normally don't expect him to rotate
Yes.
that much. He is a little bit of a selfish support. He gets way more than most supports do at his position, but at the cost of abandoning a little bit the mid player.
And PPD is selfless, but he generally plays more defensive supports, which means that whereas you look at Puppy's Chen, there will be a creep mid constantly until Artesia's one mid.
Yeah.
Or until they react to it in some way.
I feel like a lot of EG want to do this game is going to be from level 1, prevent the Chen from being able to have an impact. They want to probably pick really strong early game heroes that can go into the dire jungle right from the get-go, prevent Chen from having easy access to his jungle. You can't fight, if Secret SF Chen, these are not heroes that can fight level 1 or anything. So if EG want to, I mean, they can easily take it to Secret right off the bat and try and block off camps and really control the game.
Evil geniuses turn to ban.
Broodmother banned by EG. It is something Zai's run occasionally, and it's kind of a pocket pick, I guess you could say, for them. Not something Secret will go to every game, but
it's so hard to deal with. It just forces your supports to stick in that lane. I mean, you can't leave them unless you have something that is extremely good at clearing the spiders.
This is very player targeted, though, from EG. Like, you were asking, will they focus more on strong heroes or just what Secret like to run, and everything is very Secret targeted.
Yeah.
So I guess we get our answer there. So they'll need a Zai hero. Bristleback's probably the big hero with the Puck band, the Broodmother band. Techies is available.
One can only dream.
I don't know if they run it versus EG here, though.
Yeah, Ricky is also available.
Ricky is still there in the pool.
The thing with the Techies pick was it was against like a triple melee opener, I believe.
Yep.
So Puck, Witch Doctor, it's a lot harder to get things done as a Techies.
That is true. That is true. But EG thinking of their first hero. Normally here is where they get the carry player. I mean, when you remember these lineups, if Drow wasn't to be banned, it would be like Puck, Bench, Drow, Puck, Witch Doctor, Drow, Puck, Visage, Drow. That was like the setup that they would normally go for. So we'll probably see EG in the 3rd or 4th pick trying to get one of those cores that is going to be the main damage dealer. And knowing that they have Shadowfin in front of them, they might think of an answer, direct answer. What is good against Shadowfin, Blitz?
There's two ways to play him. Either you go ultra late game, where if he decides to go any utility, like I know the Chinese mids favor the mech first.
Yep.
If you go something like that, if you go Mech Manta, I think that's what somebody on CDEC did, Mikasa, the game you casted. When you go a build like that, you really limit the late game viability of the hero, or you just gank him like crazy in the early game. The hero doesn't really get outlaned by anything, especially since the level 1 Raze got buffed so much.
Yep.
So you either have to take it to him pre-level 5, because once he hits level 3 Razes, he can just nuke out the wave, bottle crow, and then just repeatedly jungle, and you don't want to commit heroes that deep into the enemy jungle, especially when he has a Chen there.
With the Chen, I feel like trying to beat him mid, you have to pick like a total lane dominator, because they also have a Witch Doctor, which is not the best offensive support early.
It's okay. I mean, you can kill a Shadowfiend. It's like 500 HP.
We've seen a Queen of Pain beat a Shadowfiend with the help of a Chen. The Chen made it really hard. I don't remember what game it was.
Oh, that's
wow, the Lina.
They don't have any real setup for the Lina yet.
I don't feel like Lina's a support here. I
Yeah,
think the hero is. It doesn't pair with the Chen
I've
at
been
all.
hearing from a lot of pro players for the last 2 months. Lina is actually a really good core hero. It's really good mid, and it's very tough to beat mid.
Yeah, it's...
Now, I've never seen it in a pro game, so I don't know the veracity of these claims, but they were not trolling. They were actually genuinely saying it's just...
Oh, they're not.
It's the NEL go-to solo mid.
That's the #1 hero I run into in solo queue.
Really?
In every single server. I played C by accident like 5 games. All 5 games, Lina mid. I think I started tracking my own stats. I think like 70% of games, if I take any mid, no matter what, even if it's not even a counter pick, they'll just open with Lina mid.
What is a counter pick? What does Lina counter pick?
Everything. I'm not even kidding. It's
Please, I mean, explain.
Shadowfiend, Storm.
Explain.
Except like Viper
TA.
maybe or something. I don't know.
Even Viper,
Yeah.
because the range, the 670 range that you have, you can get into a right-click fight with anybody. You'll be on top of your hill, they'll be on top of theirs, and you can still right-click them.
You can right-click from
It's
uphill to
absurd.
uphill?
It might
really
be
good
like a
attack
little
range,
bit.
yeah.
It might be a little bit closer, but then on top of that, because of the way that the level 1 nuke was buffed, it just clears so much. It does so much damage. You get a bottle off the bat, and it's just impossible to fight against.
Interesting.
But most people are running it mid.
Yeah, I don't think this.
And they have the SF for Artesia
I
already.
feel like this can't be. This has to be a Shadowfiend mid, right?
It could be a safe lane Shadowfiend if you think about
You
it.
could
But
farm Lina in the
the
safe lane.
thing is that if you look at Lina Chen, they're not great without a setup. Because
Yeah, which is where it does feel like this is not a support, because if it were, then they'd want some
Still,
setup.
but
they
if
get
you-
the Zai Bristle, so it's either S4 Lina or it is Kuroki on it.
If you put Lina mid, then and the Chen stacks the camp
Yeah.
on the left side, it's harder for the Shadow Fiend to completely rotate over, and it slows down his potential farm a lot. I feel like putting, especially if they have Radiant, right?
Yeah.
If I'm not, wait,
No,
no,
they're
they're
Dire.
dire. Oh, they're
Dire.
dire. Then maybe you do it, and it's okay.
So as for EG, they go for the Sumail Quap now. Fear, generally the troll. We saw the Shadow Blade troll yesterday, did a lot of work.
Reserve time.
The offlane puck for Universe, so they will need that support, probably the AUI 2000 support. What do you see the Chen? You may feel if you're EG like you can get a bit greedier. We saw one team yesterday tried to run a Sand Cane just to get more out of the jungle versus a Chen. So the AUI has played a little bit of. What do you guys think for AUI?
I feel you can go. I feel like the Witch Doctor has picked the Witch Doctor troll lane really good at already zoning out the Bristleback on their own, so they can get something a bit more greedy with AUI's pick potentially. Because I think that Witch Doctor pick was almost picked up knowing that Secret liked her on the Bristleback and that it's a really good zoner with Maledict and a strong laner like Trolls. So as far as AUI's hero goes, I think either something greedy or something that can just solo roam and pressure the SF in mid lane with the Queen of Pain.
I wonder if this would be a good game for the comeback of the Skywrath Mage, because Lina is a great silence target. Bristleback, with the amplified damage that you get, you kind of counter his Bristleback, in fact. And it's going to be a Crystal Maiden.
Alright, so
That's the Chen counter.
They're
That's
super
a chain
early
counter,
game.
yeah.
I feel like
they
they're
have
just-
good anti-Chen supports, both of them actually.
Yeah. I feel like this is a bit of what I mentioned earlier, where they're just going to go right off the bat, try ward up the Secret jungle, prevent Chen from having any of his big camps, and I mean, their level 1 right now is pretty scary with these 5 heroes, whereas Secret don't really have the same ability to fight with the Chen Shadow Fiend.
Newsflash. Out of the total 100 heroes that are available,
105.
105, sorry, yeah, you're right. Heroes that are available in Dota 2, 93 of them have been picked in Dota Asian Championship.
So what are ones that have not been picked yet? Alright, well this one has been the Nyx
Yeah,
Assassin.
Nyx Assassin.
It's a 4 int lineup. That Mana Burn could do quite a bit of damage here.
Definitely. Definitely. And again, this
that a
Nyx Assassin could be a support Nyx
Support,
Assassin.
I think it probably is.
Let's see. I think this is the most important part of the game right now.
A
I think
safe
it's,
lane Lina? Or?
I think that is a. I think that's a core Lina, maybe.
I
Or
would
may-
love to see a
So
Corina.
Bristle off lane, SF mid, Lina safe lane, Nyx support, Chen support.
They could do something super tricky and put like Lina, Nyx off, and then put Bristle short lane with Chen
Yeah.
roaming.
Uh-huh.
I don't think they want to really bristle off lane against like the Witch Doctor troll. Zai's not going to, if it is Zai, sometimes S4's played one game and the Bristleback is just not going to get farm against that kind of a lane.
Guess you find out they're really,
Yeah, they're making
Yeah.
this
they're really
happen.
milking it.
AG's lane's quite straightforward. No surprises there as far as Secret are concerned.
Oh, S4 is the Bristle. Okay.
He's played it sometimes. It's normally
Pro is Lina.
Oh,
So it is a support Lina. So they do not have a
Aw.
great setup here unless
Yeah.
Puppy gets a troll.
I think just with Shadow Fiend in the game, it's hard to justify not putting him mid. Oh, they just swapped heroes. So S4 is now the
the Nyx.
Nyx.
And who's the Lina?
I
Who's
guess
the
they're giving
Lina?
us for
It's still Kuro.
Ah.
They might have actually just. It might have not been a sneaky thing. They might have just been debating
yeah.
how to do it. They were like, okay, well, what's the best setup
Yep.
here?
EG immediately looking to go into that dire jungle though. They're 5-manning towards the top lane
And Secret immediately looking to defend it.
yeah. The normal path you take is straight up that hill where Secret are waiting on the ramp, but this is going to be something where normally there's that one hero position to scout out this rotation, but EG, even if they don't get a kill, they're just happy to get down some wards here, probably.
LD, as much as I would love to stay in this amazing game, I'm going to step out. You feel free to stay if you want. I'm going to take a small break, and then I'll come back after the game is done. Sounds good?
I'll leave these two to it.
Sounds good.
I'll join you, my friend.
Good luck, guys.
Good luck, gentlemen.
All right, we,
It's just
we
us
finally
now.
get some alone time.
Yes. Dude, you are so tall compared to me. I feel like I'm not even that short. I want to let people know that I'm like 5'10", but I look like a midget here. I am LD. Thank you.
Well, you're tall for a Korean person, you know. People,
Yeah.
people in Southeast Asia.
In
and
Korea, I'm a giant.
Yeah.
Just
I'd be to Southeast Asia. I feel like if you were there, yeah, in Southeast Asia in general, you'd be massive.
yeah, I'm very tall there. All right, so if you want to go over the lineups really quick.
Okay, we can do that. So Zai gonna be on your Bristleback. Level 1 Goof. Here's actually been trapped here in the river and not gonna be. Well, we're gonna lose kind of vision there for Zai. As Arteezy gonna be playing the Shadow Fiend. He's gonna pick up the Bounty Rune, and mid lane Puppy gonna be doing the body
He's
block
the
for your
body
Shadow
for
Fiend.
him.
Yeah. And at the top lane, it's gonna be the Kuro Lina supporting the S4 Nyx, a safe lane farming Nyx Assassin. And the Radiant side. Do you want to introduce them, even though you don't think they're gonna win? We
Okay.
should have introduced our own team.
Why are you
know?
saying it like that?
Well,
like, I'm not-
no, you know, EG was my team, Secret was yours. Like, we
Okay,
should be
okay.
introducing
That's
our
not how I'm
teams.
looking at it. All right, so Universe is going to be playing the puck off lane. Looks like with the Witch Doctor of PPD. You've got Sumail playing the Queen of Pain mid, and you've got Fear on this Troll Warlord, and you've got AUI 2000 playing this Crystal Maiden right here.
Yep. Oh, okay. He's going to be doing some early jungling, trying to get fast level 2. Mid lane, okay, Arteezy. Too easy.
That-
First Blood's the Queen of Pain. That just happened.
That is surprising. I don't think that should happen.
He went all in for
he
that
all
kill.
in with the blink. There's no way that should happen, and that sets him back so much.
He
He's
wants
got
to go in
21
once more.
gold
He
now.
needs to cancel this salve at least, but he's not getting the kill.
No, he's
though.
got a bottle now too, and he's just wasted
Oh.
even more mana.
If he,
That I don't even think all-inning it there. It was pretty low percentage, especially if you blink aggressively like that. He ate 2 raises by Arteezy. Not the kind of start that he wants, but he has to calm down, relax. Things can still go okay. This is still a winnable lane.
well, he's once again manning up. This time he blinks backwards, although there wasn't any mana for an Arteezy raise there, so almost getting defensive when he doesn't need to at the same time. But as you said, it's going to just come down to remaining composed here for the young 15-year-old in the mid lane.
Yeah, that's probably the most interesting thing. He's been pretty composed after that they actually had a pretty good run in the first few days, so maybe that helps out his confidence and he calms down and says, okay, things are alright.
Just treat it like any other NEL game. You're just like versing Arteezy. He's probably done this many times before in NEL. Top lane. Uh-oh, Sumail blinks in aggressively. Arteezy going to turn around, throw some raises. Gets the triple raise, it looks like, but not enough damage coming out onto Sumail. But Sumail's lane effectively lost at this point. Meanwhile, Universe at top lane almost getting picked off. He needs to get the jaunt out. S4 not going to chase him down. Salve comes out and, well, EG getting pressured in both mid lane and top lane pretty heavily here. AUI's in the jungle, just has that Brilliance Aura up. He's doing pretty effective as far as just providing that support to his teammates. I feel like, how big a difference does something like a Brilliance Aura make in a game like this for your lanes?
Not that much. The best thing, though, that AUI can do is just continue to stack for this SF, which he's doing right now in this jungle. Get as much farm as he can.
Well, the SF's on the Dire.
Or no. For
like
the Queen of Pain.
Yeah.
Or your Troll. That's what I meant. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I just woke up, dude. And
Me
so,
too, me too.
if you play a really greedy support like this, you want him to get as much as he can. Get the boots, get a smoke. Maybe that's how they try to pick up on this Shadow Fiend. Like I said, the only 2 ways that you're going to beat him here is either you dominate him in the laning phase, which after that bounty rune and that first kill doesn't really look like it's going to happen. I mean, giving up a Shadow Fiend of all heroes first blood solo, and he got the bounty rune, like this is the dream start for Artur.
Yeah, he's going to be feeling really comfortable. Puppey doesn't even have to really offer that assistance, which you sometimes see him like send creeps towards the mid lane, just throw a tornado, throw like a mana burn, just have that kind of shockwave spam, whatever it may be. But Puppey, he's stacking. He's doing just what kind of the CM is doing, stacking big camps.
That's what I
for
meant
the
to say.
SF. Yeah, there we go. We got it right the second time.
Yeah,
Morning
and
jitters.
by doing this, he's lowering his potential farm, but he's really setting up for Artur, which is what he wants. This Crystal Maiden, though, it's a really greedy pick. It doesn't do a whole lot in this game. I really feel like a Crystal Maiden against heroes like Bristleback, Nyx, Lina. She's just going to get blown up. So you have to get aggressive. And look, I think he's going to pop a smoke here, try to go around. But Puppey knows about this, and he's going to stand here to break it, actually. And he does. He should be able to see this coming. Sumail doesn't have the blink up. Does he commit for this? It's getting really close. Artur's popping bottle charges. The scream's going to pick him off. It was smart, though. Like, that was a good idea.
Well, AUI, if he went the normal smoke path up the ramp, it wouldn't have worked, but he went through the river, and the reveal came a bit too late. Meanwhile, Puck going to get a kill on the Lina at the jungle here. That haste rune allowing him to just chase down Lina, who was looking for denying the neutral camp. So EG, they bounce back a little bit here after a shaky start for Sumail in the mid lane.
That's so next level, though, by AUI. They were next leveling each other. He's like, I'm going to smoke, and Puppey's like, I'm going to wait on top of this cliff for you to go through. That was just Puppey actually waiting out the smoke timer. There was no creeps by him. He just sat up here and he was waiting for it to pop.
Yep.
But the CM, it's because it's so obvious. That's what the CM's going to do. He's jungling. He's staying off the map. He's going to create presence somewhere. There's no real point in ganking a Bristleback, especially for a Troll Warlord. And so try to get some pressure on the mid lane, and it is successful, though.
And you can see, like, the CM, you know that CM's going to go at level 3, especially you can see the Brilliance Aura.
you know she's going to gank is the crazy part.
You can check the scoreboard, you see level 3 here, and you're like, okay, that CM, the only move the CM has from the jungle is to smoke, wrap around mid lane.
Yeah,
That's the one play you have
100% out of 100. Every single time you pick a CM, you go for that. The crazy thing is that it worked. Like, I'm still baffled.
I think ultimately it comes down to the smoke through the river. And also the timing, like around the 4-minute rune, it's so predictable, but it still works. Top lane, meanwhile, S4. Actually, no, it's bottom lane. Fear going to get jumped on as It wants to try and man-fight up on Kuro. Kuro's rotated, but he's going to give away a kill. Zai now in trouble as well. Fear going to get 2. Double kill for the old man. As EG get up 4 kills to 1. Things starting to stabilize here. If Sumail was a bit worried after that first blood mid, he can see that the other lanes are going well. He's now going to kill an Arteezy. At this point, he's probably feeling very calm and good about himself.
Yeah, especially after that rebuttal kill and the way that the team is doing so far right now, he has to think to himself, okay, that was a little bit of a mistake, but it doesn't really determine the game. And Puppey can't really gank a Queen of Pain, so he's not feeling pressured at all. He realizes, all right, if I don't die in this lane, I'm perfectly fine, and he's going to get gone on too.
Oh, the cast being one of the greatest tools you can have against the Chen. Puppey going to, well, potentially look to deny himself. No opportunity to do so. Queen of Pain gets another kill. Just crisp play coming out of EG, looking to bring in those supports when they need to for those runes.
Yeah, and right now, the problem seems like the Lina hasn't really paid off. This is a hero that you absolutely have to be ahead in to justify picking it this early. I just think that it's a really greedy support in general. He has no setup stun. Ganking a Queen of Pain, where's his targets really? He's not going to kill a puck, especially with S4 playing a Nyx. Like, there's no real setup for that. You just phase shift dodge everything.
Yeah. So S4 is essentially the initiator, kind of, I mean, his normal role on the team. Just hitting level 6 now, does he look to go gank, or is he going to try farm up like a core item first? What's kind of his move in this game?
It's too obvious if he goes and ganks right now. What I would like to see S4 do is grab a TP, and then he has to do it instantly. I would probably go to the safe lane. The troll plays really far up, trying to zone the Bristle back out. If I'm S4 right now, I grab a TP at the side lane, I fog for half a second, and then I just TP out.
Well, for EG, they've got to be ready for those kind of movements here. The Nyx has been 6 for some time. AUI is still playing aggressive in this moment. He's level 5. He's got a lot of experience out of this jungle and just in general from the rotations he's made. So for EG, going to be pretty confident about how things have started off here. Sumail's kind of stabilized at the mid lane. TC just going for those kind of basic tanky items. There's a Wraith Band and a Bracer on his Shadow Fiend just to try and stay alive from these kind of ganks.
Yeah, and so S4 has grabbed the TP. He is ready for any sort of rotation. I think you push this lane out. That's what he's doing right now. You let the Lina take XP, and then you just immediately TP down is, I think, the move. Troll, look how far up he's playing right now. Queen of Pain is a low percentage gank. You have to assume that a Sentry Ward's there. So back up S4, wait half a beat, TP bottom, and then go for the gank.
Yeah. Well, it looks like S4 still looking to stay at the top lane for the time being. Fear taking a bit of damage down the bottom lane. Zai's starting to stack up some goos and quills, and Fear may need backup here. Zai's got still a lot of mana here. Fear may just go down.
He's got 5 stacks on him too.
Oh, the TP coming in from the puck at the last second. There is a Dream Call available if he can get in range. He's going to all forward. No TP until now. The Nyx assassin TPs, but it maybe is too late. Zai probably going to go down here. Fear turns around with a slow. Here comes S4 looking to get 1 kill or possibly a couple.
He has to go
Fear. Catch both. He gets AUI and Fear. AUI, he's getting body blocked here by S4. Lina shows up as well now. S4 wants AUI. The Lina right
no.
not enough.
It's going to get him.
Oh, it doesn't do it. The cast, the cast now comes up from PPD. Kuro gonna go down. It's a disaster for Secret in the bot lane. They just got the Crystal Maiden with that last right click, but EG show up with a great TP from Universe. He was just a little bit faster than S4 in the rotation, and it made all the difference.
I absolutely think S4 should have TP'd down there earlier. Look how far up Fear was playing during that time. He hit the level 6 timing really well too, and look where the Sentry Ward is placed as well. If he just walks forward, ganks the troll there away from the tower, that's a really safe kill for Secret. But by allowing the chase to the tower, by Zai just kind of overextending just a little bit, he has to know that's going to happen. Puck is the best counter ganker in the game. Like, as soon as he hits 6, he's going to grab a TP, he's going to look to rotate.
Even when the puck TP was visible for Secret, I think it was like a good 1.5 to 2 seconds before S4 TP'd. It still wasn't instant, even when they knew the puck was rotating.
Maybe he just didn't think he was going to catch up.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what the next move for Secret's going to be. The Chen is really high level in the jungle. They're getting a lot out of that, but we haven't really seen Puppey have much impact. He's level 7, has the Hand of God as far as, well, once it comes off cooldown. But in general, Secret playing from behind now. And this is, well, not a new thing for them. They've had some games where they've kind of started off slow. The game against CDIC where it felt like they maybe should have lost. And we'll see what they can do here against EG.
I think Puppey actually stacked for himself. Judging by the amount of golden levels
yeah.
I think he just used the double Wild Wing Rippers. Say that fast 5 times. Wild Wing Rippers to stack for himself, and then he cleared it with that. Because Arteezy looks really far behind right now. And on this high ground right here.
Okay. Arteezy going to go down, tries to get the counter kill on PPD. Do you feel like that's the right move? Giving it, Chen taking it and trying to get the fast mech versus Arteezy getting on the Shadow Fiend?
I guess if you think that Shadow I think the mech right now is more important than anything that Arteezy is going to grab, so yeah. Getting a 11-minute mech on this Chen is pretty crucial, especially just because Chen hasn't been able to gank any lane. But realistically, where is he going to go? So he might as well just get guaranteed farm. But the trade-off here is that your team's going to do a little bit weaker. They've sent Kuro in his stead every single time. I don't even know how Kuro is level 6 right now, by the way. Like, that's actually absurd, considering every single gank I've seen him do has been unsuccessful so far.
He's had the pull camps to himself, but yeah, it seems a bit crazy. Secret are surprisingly getting their levels, getting at least some basic farm and core items on all their heroes, like Kuro just having an urn. S4 is up to level 9. Across the board, it feels like Secret are at least not getting completely demolished here. Their supports are far more farm than the EG. Looking at their supports, like 1,300 net worth apiece, when Chen has 3k net worth, Lina has 2.2k. It's not exactly as clear-cut an EG lead as it may kind of appear based on the kills and the fights we've seen so far.
Yeah, Puppy's almost got core farm. So when you've got that much on your Chen, you're never too far behind. But remember, Chen isn't a hero that scales too well late game. You absolutely need to hit this mech timing and start going around the map accomplishing things. The problem, though, in picking Chen this early is that EG seemed to know they were actually going to give up the Chen, and they've picked a lineup of cores that are really difficult to gank. They've got a Queen of Pain. How do you gank that with the Chen? You have no real setup, except for S4. Like, you're never going to hit a Lina stun without him seeing it from Fog. You've got a Puck who's not even worth ganking, I think, at this point. It's so low percentage. And you've got a Troll who's just naturally tanky. He's got 1,000 HP. The whirling axes make everything miserable.
Yep.
Like, it's just not an ideal Chen game.
Not to mention your two supports. You've got Cask and Frostbite.
Yeah, exactly. You're just giving up a creep at that point. So the plan is grab this mech and just push. I don't...
Yep.
Maybe you go for a smoke gank and then go for the push, but regardless, you are looking just for the straight-up push.
They could quite easily take Roshan as well. They've got the Bristleback with the Goo, the Shadow Fiend. No points in the aura just yet. He's just hit level 9, may pick up his first one now, but that's the other option for them as well. If they can try get in there with maybe 3 heroes and show like Kuro in the mid lane on the Lina and Nyx at top lane.
Yeah, they actually haven't shown... they don't have any wards in the secret jungle, so they might just think that SF is doing the jungle and Zai is doing the Ancients, and they're like, okay, this is a really good timing, and that is what they're going to go for. I guess straight up pushing into EG's lineup is also really miserable. There's just so much wave clear on their end.
EG seem to be moving to at least check this one out. They're going to walk past an illusion, and that illusion is there to scout this one. So
They know Artur too well.
It's the catch-up Roshan. They're not going to allow that to happen.
This is the classic C9, we're behind, we have to go for it, Roche.
Well, they're going to now have a fight brewing at near the bottom river here. Chaos bouncing between 2 and Arteezy locked in place. The heals from the Chen. This is all they've really got from the Chen.
That's
now
a 3-man coil, though.
Oh my gosh. S4 locked in place and then the Death Ward. He goes Vendetta just to stay alive. Instead, now it's Arteezy focused by Queen of Pain blinks to high ground. It's Lagooted, but will come out on top. Bringing down a second hero and EG out. Lasting Secret here for the start of this fight. Zai now going to look to kind of switch targets here. He's got a lot of durability with this Vit booster of his, but he may have kind of overstayed his welcome, gets sent back by Puppy on the Chen. That'll be enough to at least kind of have a slightly even trade for Secret. It's a 2-for-1, but the gold chain's somewhat even.
Yeah, I guess a Secret lost the Shadow Fiend, and Alina at this point isn't too big of a deal. It's pretty inconsequential. Essentially, you're trading core for core. The support is just token gold, but I feel like Secret could have fought that a lot better. They grouped for the 3-man coil, and then on top of that, Artur just started slowly moving towards the Death Ward.
They had nothing to stop the Death Ward.
Yeah, they weren't going to be able to stop that. There's only the Lina, but she has to play super far back. It was just a really well-played fight by EG. They get the 3-man coil off, they lay down the Death Ward really far away from the coil, actually, and they were just able to isolate the heroes from Secret.
Well, off of that, EG just going to back off, look to get their next couple of core items. Fear farming very well in his Troll Wall. It has 1,500 gold after the phase. Helm of the Dominator will be built into a Yasha. We've seen like a few kind of Shadow Blade type builds from him in occasion on the Troll, but this is going to be a kind of more just well-rounded Troll, not going for that high risk play.
Yeah, I don't think you build Shadow Blade into a Bristle and SF. There's no real point. And Nyx is a difficult hero to gank in general off the bat. Maybe you could punish the Shadow Fiend by getting one, but I don't think so. Especially if Arteezy just gets a Yules, you just Yules the Troll and run away.
Do you think that's going to be the item here for Arteezy on the Shadow Fiend? He has got the Sage's Mask. Is this a Yules, or is he just trying to... he's not completing his Ring of Aquila, so... Yeah,
I think it's definitely a Yules game. A BKB here doesn't really help you too much. The damage from the Troll is still too insanely high. The Death Ward as well, and it looks like EG are going to go for a Roshan of their own. See, this was a smart Roshan. You've got firm control of the map, you've just taken a fight, and that's going to dissuade Secret from going for this fight. if they do fight for it too as well, it's just going to be way too late. They've got perfect vision in the Roche pit. But Secret have devoted so many heroes. They've smoked out 4 as well here. They have to go for something. Looks like they are looking for a fight. Zai's just going to push up. But they are walking into a high ground here. I don't think this fight values Secret or Secret whatsoever.
Well, here comes the wraparound from Puppey. He's going to run into AUI. The Impale catches 2 really nice from S4. Both supports kind of isolated, and I think EG off of that may just cut their losses.
That was so smart from Secret. They split their cores by running forward, and then they created a death trap. I thought that fight was going to go terribly for them at first, but then they just split around and outmaneuvered. And when you've got that many creeps by Chen, like, what does the Witch Doctor cast do in that situation?
I think also importantly they knew Universe on the puck he was kind of farming the top lane and rotating through the jungle, but he was still a very long way away.
Yeah, you definitely need the puck there for that. I think he should have TP'd just for the protection, but even I didn't think that Secret was going to go for that after the Roche fight. EG probably just thought, okay, we have an Aegis, there's no way that they take the fight here, right?
Well, Secret off of this, they're pushing into an Aegis right now, while trading towers for the time being. They take the tier 1 bottom, S4 looks to go top to defend and look for a deny himself. Has got his Blink Dagger up, so EG need to be a little bit careful as far as pushing out this lane and getting caught out.
Thoughts on this Queen of Pain Orchid?
I don't know, what are your thoughts? Do you not feel like it's an Orchid game? As well, Universe gets bought up. That is some greed going for that tier 1 tower. It's...
I feel like against the Secrets lineup, it's not the best item.
SF, who you know is going Yules, Bristleback, who's just naturally tanky. It's good against, I feel like, the Nyx alone. But even
Nyx has a Blink Dagger now.
Yeah.
I guess Lina dies to everything, so it doesn't really matter. I feel like a BKB or an Ags, especially an Ags, I feel, against the type of lineup that Secret has, would probably be better suited. It gives her tank without having to force her to hard commit to something like a BKB, which would put her a little bit all in for the early game.
He's going to get really fast, so we can transition to the next time. It's more like, it's not like your normal Orchid, and then you get lots of kills off of it. Like, you start ganking the Storms and other heroes around the map who are very prone to getting ganked by it.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he gets it here and it works off, because if you have a Chen and a Bristle and you're behind in the game, look at what Secret are doing right now. They've devoted all 5 heroes to the jungle / Ancients, so maybe you look out for the guy who goes for the Ancients or shows up in the lane by himself. Knowing the rest of Secret, if they're not showing on the map, they're just farming the jungle out.
He also doesn't know that Arteezy's going for the Yules just yet. It's been entirely kept hidden on the courier, so...
I mean, you can kind of guess by the game. The only other item he'd get is a BKB, and if he had the Ogre Club, he'd have gone for it by now. Yeah. Because he needs the HP.
Alright, well, EG going to look to making their move out on the map. Right now, their vision's been very limited to their side and fairly defensive. That's where they haven't been able to find too many pickoffs or get aggressive. But they want to try take control of the enemy jungle, use this Orchid offensively as much as possible, but I'm going to be a bit careful here. Zai's going to be the one they kind of run into, and he scouts him from the high ground.
Run away, Zai. Yeah, at this point, EG realize they've got a lot of map awareness. They realize that all 5 heroes of Secret are in the jungle. They're going to try to evade. Somehow Secret get out of that just fine. So a little bit more control. It looks like they are going to go for this top lane, though.
Yeah, I feel like for EG, even not getting a kill for that smoke, they still get this tier 2, they get some deep wards down to the enemy jungle.
Yeah, the creep wave was just pushed out really nicely. Zai does have this, or S4 does have the Blink Dagger available to him, but Sumail has an Orchid as well.
They're setting up, they're going to blink in, get an Impale onto 2 Fear as well as PPD. They want to bring down the Witch Doctor to start things off here. PPD just trying to hightail it out of there. Fear just manning up with the Aegis in hand. He can just keep on fighting, but they've lost the rest of his team.
Oh my
Queen
god.
of Pain and Witch Doctor get blown up. Another 2-hero Impale from S4.
He's gotta go for
with
it.
the Vendetta. It's catching everyone. Fear's still in the backlines trying to 1v5 it up. AUI with the freezing field gets cancelled by Erlina. It's a team wipe from Secret. EG get destroyed.
The
What
quills!
happened?
The quills! There's so many charges.
Oh
he just kept doing it over and over again. They didn't realize Sumail got so low. I mean, this is the problem I feel with the Orchid. It just doesn't really provide a whole lot. Who do you Orchid there, right? The SF instantly uses himself. The Bristleback, is it really worth it to use it on him? S4 just stayed in the far back, waited for his opportunity, catches 2 heroes in the backline. That's what he's going for right now. He's just trying to obliterate the backline. He's not even bothering using his ultimate because he assumes that EG just has a bunch of sentries, and they do. And just the sheer amount of quills that he shot off, and the Shadow Fiend being able to pop his ultimate, getting a raise off as well, it's just too much damage right now. Pushing into this kind of lineup, it feels, is just a little bit too dangerous.
That was with an Aegis there, and yeah, they kind of just let Fear do his thing on the front lines, knowing that they can outlast him, bring down the squishy heroes further back, and with that, Secret get a lot of momentum going their way.
I mean, Troll looks a lot less scary when he loses his Witch Doctor and his puck.
Yeah.
Like, you just kite him non-stop there, and that's exactly what he did. He didn't have enough targets to go for. How are you going to kill a Bristleback? He just turns his back to you, waves it away.
That Bristleback just cleaned house there as well, because puck get caught out as well. This time around, it's, well, Kuru's Lina getting the kill, but there will be a counter kill here. Kuru going to look to just turn and do as much damage as he can. The Death Ward from the higher ground, PPD. Going to get one kill on the Lina, but will pay for it with his life. Zai with a BKB, just manning up. He's going to go for AUI as well with the maxed out goo. AUI just taking huge damage here. The BKB ends though, and Zai's going to be careful. He may have overextended. Uh-oh.
He blinks for the front as well, catches him. That's an unstoppable streak for Sumail, by the way.
That was a really costly mistake from Zai.
That wasn't the move. That definitely wasn't the play. They do get the mid tower though out of that, and that helps so much just for control. If they want to go for the Roshan, they've taken out both tier 1s in mid and bottom, so it's a lot more difficult for EG to contest that. I guess it's worth it, but you did use a 10-second BKB charge to kill the Witch Doctor and kind of go for the CM.
Yeah. You don't actually, I mean, at this point, like, the kill, whether CM lives or not, the big thing is there, the Bristleback dies, and EG Sumail suddenly up to 2k gold, so he can transition to that BKB you talked about, or the Ag Scepter, whatever his next item of choice will be, so. For EG, how do you feel like they kind of scale towards the late game? Like, CM and Witch Doctor late game with farm sounds amazing, but the CM, one of those heroes, notorious for being really bad in a late game scenario.
I think Sumail has to go for a BKB here, but it's not the ideal choice. And the problem right now with EG's lineup is they don't really have a hero that benefits from...
Oh, great play from Universe. He was there to cancel the Requiem of Souls. Fear, knowing his buddy was there to back him up, and... Well,
just too over-aggressive by RTC. But
think
he kind of assumed that Universe was there. That was pretty unexpected.
He didn't have any... I think he had no way out anyway, so he's like, I may as well go for this.
Yeah.
Because it's like, Fear knows the damage and what SF can do there. He's seen this countless times from his own teammate, from RTZ.
If you've been playing pubs in the last 3 weeks,
yeah,
everybody knows what
so
the damage output is.
If he's running at US and SF, chances are there's someone else there who's going to cancel that combo. But what else can RTZ do?
Yes.
Maybe he uses Fear and tries to TP out, but if the puck's there, then he's going to cancel the TP. So.
But who on EG's lineup really benefits from the Troll, as I was saying earlier, in the late game? The Queen of Pain sort of does. The Witch Doctor ult, doesn't do it. It doesn't change anything. I guess it sort of helps Puck become a DPS scaler. And the CM, it just doesn't do anything.
Hey, don't be hating on CM.
Oh, and he gets the deny off as well. That's just so much damage on him. So late game, I feel like it favors Secret by a pretty decent margin, actually. I think the Bristleback especially is going to be so hard for EG to deal with.
That seems like the main problem here, because even with Secret, Secret have like a Chen who doesn't go that well to the late game. Even the Nyx Assassin is much more that kind of mid-game initiator, but S4's got a lot of farm up his hands, and just being that initiator, the spammable Mana Burn against the Queen of Pain is going to do huge damage in the late game scenario as well. And that's this Mana Burn in general, great against Puck and Quap. This is like a mini Laguna Blade to throw on top of their other nukes.
Yeah, and speaking of Laguna Blades, once Kuro gets an Aghanim Scepter, and judging by the way that Secret always plays, he's going to grab one sooner than later. That really helps against heroes like Queen of Pain, the Troll when they get BKBs, and especially when it goes to 5 seconds. You've got the Lina ult Ags just to stop them.
Yeah.
Tell them, okay, you're at half HP, run away, and then once the BKBs flare out, you've got a lot of heroes that can chase. You've got 3 Blink Daggers actually on the way of Secret. You've got one on the SF, one on the Nyx, and one on the Lina actually. And when you've got that kind of mobility and chasing, late game fighting for EG, they have to hard commit to things.
Yeah. I mean, just looking at the net worth series, Secret supports almost like doubling the net worth of EGs. What is it about like their playstyles that kind of causes this to happen, do you feel?
Good mobility, good rotations, being able to back themselves up in fights. Things of that nature are always going to help. Not getting flustered especially. It just looks like they never really worry too much if they're ahead or behind. They always know, stick to the game plan, stick to the script, and that seems to help them more than any other team.
Well, for Secret, they're going to continue to do their thing, and the net worth for Bristleback continuing to climb, but it is Troll and Fear who's topping the net worth here.
Yeah, he's got a lot of farm. He got the Roshan as well, I believe. I think the only fight that went really badly for him was the one at top. Yeah. He did die early in the lane, but he was top farmer for the most part. And now Fear, I feel like this is EG's timing. You've got your BKB on your Troll. Nobody else benefits from your ultimate. You've got an Orchid on the Queen of Pain. She's about to pick up her BKB as well. I feel like this is the timing. You grab both BKBs on both your cores, and you just make a move for it right now.
Roshan will be respawning fairly soon as we go into the... Actually, it's back now, and Secret are looking to take it themselves, and I think EG are not going to let this go down without a fight.
Yeah, especially with both BKBs flying. I don't think you wait for the Queen of Pains. You have the one on Troll already. The coil is missed on S4.
That's costly now.
They definitely need that to fight.
They're not going to get into the Roche Pit in time. It's too late. Roshan goes down.
Yeah, there's no way. They're going to have to hightail it right now. Fear should be fast enough, but he gets Yulesed up. He has to pop the BKB. Get out of here, buddy.
Okay, he pops it just for the Impale here. Universe Blinks in, gets hit by the Carapace, so now Kuro going to blow up your puck. Great play.
That's his gem as well on the ground. Fear's getting really low. They do manage to pop it out. Arteezy's actually getting into a right-click fight with him. Are they going to be able to get it off? No!
Ooh, just barely TP'd out of that one, but Secret still come out on top with an Aegis, with a gem, and with 3 hero kills to their name. Oh boy.
That is a swing and a worth. They've lost 1,000 gold. They gained 1,600 on the side of Secret. Fighting against this type of lineup, especially when you miss that coil, that was the crucial moment. Roshan, regardless of where it's at that point, you hightail it. You can't fight that. You don't know. You're completely blind. It's not like Chen where you can send a creep in to check. At that point, it was hard commitment. And once you've lost that puckle, how do you actually fight? That was their best chance because there's no BKBs on the way of Secret right now. So if they were able to get that puckle off, if you notice how far the Witch Doctor played up, he was just looking to abuse that coil plus combo. And then he realizes, okay, there's nothing coming. Maybe he didn't know, but he played so far up, and at that point, they weren't getting anything out of that.
Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like EG were just kind of... They half-assed it. They didn't fully commit to contest Roshan. They wanted to just try and test the waters, see what was there, and...
You can't test the waters against 3 Blink Daggers.
You had to go all in, especially when SF doesn't have a BKB. You've got disables for it. They're now going to look to defend their Tier 2 top tower. Puppey with an Ag Scepter has this ancient Granite Golem just poised in the front lines here. They go in, get the Dream Coil down. Only hits Puppey though. Sumail in the front as well. Bristleback just going ham here. He's doing so much damage. Brings down Sumail with one last right click, and PPD next in line for the Cleaver. Bristleback just spraying everyone down. And now, well, the rest of EG looks soon to fall as Arteezy gets one last raise, and he's going to bring down Fear as well. It's a 5-man wipe. Ultra kill for Zai. The Zai Bristleback strikes again.
It's just not a lot of heroes that can do anything to him. You have to rely on the Witch Doctor roll for damage, but he's only level 11. He's got Power Treads. He's built a full Poverty build. He's got Bracer. He fully upgraded his Magic Wand. There's just no way to stop him right here.
Well, that's the GG call, and Secret continue their undefeated run here at the Dota 2 Asia Championship, going 14-0 in the group stage. Just one match remains against Vici Gaming.
The snowball factor wasn't enough for EG. I think Crystal Maiden especially is kind of an all-any hero. It's why it's not picked a lot. I'm not a big fan of it. I don't know about you. They have the Witch Doctor ready to counter the Chen. It's not like you should pick the CM just to counter the Chen, I feel. And it did manage to kill the Shadow Fiend once, but the overall layout and the picks itself didn't seem to lend itself well to being a Crystal Maiden game. I mean, look at how greedy Secret supports were able to play. Like, they picked up a Chen who managed to finish an Ags at a really reasonable time.
Chen just farmed the jungle. That's the thing. I feel like Secret just... A lot of it, you said, they just played their game plan, they got their farm, they went about their day. Zai in the offlane kind of got zoned out, but then he got his big ancient stack, and from there he had all the items he needed. So all across the board, it just felt like Secret, EG were entirely relying on snowballing, and even when they had a slight snowball going, Secret just remained composed.
The problem, too, is that Queen of Pain is a hero that relies on dominating her lane. She's not going to get as much out of the lane as the Shadow Fiend did, and she actually did, especially after that gank, but still, you really need her to dominate. Yeah. SF isn't a hero that, once he gets the Yules, once he goes that build, and you've got a frontline tank like the Bristleback, really have to be far ahead with the Queen of Pain. And I feel like that Orchid decision just wasn't the... that definitely wasn't the choice. I don't know how you two that just walked in, LD's wearing a baseball cap like it's 1994, but... I don't know how you guys feel. I feel like the Queen of Pain going for the Orchid and the fight at Roshan especially, I feel like that definitely turned things in Secret's favor.
When they saw that the pack busted the coil and Nyx blinked away, they should have said, okay, no, this is not the time to fight. Then Roshan died, and they still were there. They weren't there.
Fear ran in and started hitting Chen creeps for like 2 seconds, and then he tried to run. And I think EG just had some panic moments there, which is very uncharacteristic for this team. You've got a lot of veteran, experienced players, PPD, of course, Fear, and
you've got the most veteran of players.
I mean, you look at you've got the old man,
veteran.
And even, I mean, I just feel like EG did not bring their A game here. Sumail getting a little flustered, giving up a first blood at level 2 to a Shadow Fiend. Yeah, sometimes you go for that play, it doesn't work, but it's a very risky play to like up onto his high ground like that. And
That's an all-in commitment. At that point, you have to fight. Shadow Fiend was able to double raise him though, and
I wonder if there was like an uphill miss or something that maybe.
he had a decent amount of health though. Like he had like 100 plus.
It was just one of those. The Shadow Fiend raise 1. The way that it's changed now, it just does too much damage. You have to respect it. It does more damage than the dagger does. He had enough souls from last hits early on that he was doing okay. He was going to trade at least evenly in that respect. It just wasn't. It's not a type of lane that you have to all in either, because a Queen of Pain within the first 5 levels, you establish control just by using the dagger spam out. You know a Crystal Maiden's going to come and help you at some point.
Right.
And a Chen's never going to go for a gank on you. There's no way to set it up. Bruno's just like staring at me wide-eyed. He's like, nope. Exactly, and so
maybe if they have like some great setup for a Chen creep, they can gank the Queen of Pain. But they had a Lina. You're not ganking with that.
Ultimately, though, mid lane went okay for them. Despite that, I feel mid lane went. I mean, the recovery was smooth, and EG got themselves into an advantageous position.
It's more a microcosm of this game where there's just a lot of uncharacteristic misplays. Universe whiffing the coil. He had a couple of other times where he just got caught out of position or didn't really accomplish much in team fights. This was a real off game for Universe.
To be fair, he was super far at the top of the fight. At top, he was really far back. Like he waited so far back. But then S4 did the smart thing. He waits for the blink first, and then he gets close. He uses the Vendetta, so there's no chance of him getting out. It was just really well played. I feel like that was more... S4 played this game exceptionally well.
S4 definitely the standout player.
His carapaces were almost always catching the puck, and once he gets the puck in the carapace, it sets up the Impale, Bristleback. Every time Universe died to a carapace, it felt like.
And we talked about the Queen, or I at least, I can't stress this enough. He got the Orchid, but what did it accomplish in the fight? Who's he going to Orchid? S4 played that so well. I don't actually think S4 was Orchided once that game.
No.
Like, I genuinely don't know who the target is for
Lina.
For that Orchid. Yeah, exactly.
You know, the biggest thing that you guys asked, which we later saw the answer to, was should the Shadow Fiend be getting the stack or should the Chen? If Chen doesn't have a mech when they go for that Roche play, they get absolutely team wiped. The Chen getting early mech definitely saved Secret in a lot of engagement.
Yeah, because EG had the perfect engagement too. We were looking at it, we're like, okay, they've got the coil
3-man coil, I think it was a 4-man
The Witch Doctor went for the full duration too. Yeah. And they still, remember, I thought at
they got like 2 kills or something. It was like
it was 2-1.
It was 2-1, but they got the Aegis. It was a win for EG, but it wasn't a
It would have been like
slaughter.
4 or 5 heroes dead without a mech then on Chen.
The other fight, which I feel like was the turning point, was the top tier 2 though. That was where they had the Aegis, they were pushing
the first team wipe.
Yeah, the first team wipe. That was where it's like, okay, EG have the advantage, they should just be able to get this tower uncontested, but Secret just manned up.
I mean, S4 was basically Tidehunter that game. It was like the MMY Lion. He's just getting these 2-3 hero impales every fight, and it just they had very squishy backline supports though. It was a bit of a concern. We were talking about, well, you guys were asking like, well, why is Secret getting so far ahead in farm? They're running Chen every game. So they have Chen getting fat in the jungle. The Lina gets more out of the lane than what you would if you have 2 laning supports, and because they have the more farm supports, you compare it to EG, these heroes are just food. The Witch Doctor, unless he's in perfect position, is going to die, and you stand in Death Ward, channeling Death Ward, you're probably going to get punished for it. And Crystal Maiden just didn't do anything. There was like the one gank mid, and that's pretty much it. It's a very risky support pick if you don't get a lot done in the lanes, and I just feel it's hard to get a lot done in the lanes against Secret because they invest so much in securing their early farm.
Yeah, and the other thing too is that I really want to point out to everybody is that if you secure your jungle like Secret did, they warded it out, they kept it safe. When you have that much control of your jungle, it takes such a large commitment from EG to be able to penetrate it. They have to send like 5 heroes just for one smoke ink on one hero just to get into the jungle, because you know that the entirety of the Secret lineup is going to be prepared, set up, ready for that smoke ink. And when they went for it, Gods is like, okay. And I thought too that they'd be able to get that top tier 2 tower, but just they kind of overestimated the Aegis. Like you said, their supports weren't really worth anything. I still question
they both died in like 1 impale.
Yeah, they actually just got. Yeah. I remember at top, Witch Doctor got impaled, and I was like, all right, that's his life. Like,
whereas like meanwhile, you have Queen of Pain hitting Sonic Wave level 2, Scream of Pain, you coil, and the Lina's still sitting at full HP because they mech, they Hand of God.
Yeah,
I think Secret were deceptively strong at team fights, and EG got a little bit overzealous, given that
it's the Aegis factor.
Yeah, they got a little cocky.
I have Aegis. I'm gonna take the fight to you, but it's never that clear cut. Positioning definitely still matters, and EG just got a little bit sloppy there.
Yeah. Consistently, Secret has been the best team in the tournament, and they have now guaranteed the first place. They can relax, knowing that they have to play the second best team with no pressure at all.
Well, maybe they've done Vici Gaming a favor here now. If they're relaxed, maybe that's where Vici Gaming strikes. Who knows?
Yeah.
But they're just so composed. I mean, that laning stage was, I wouldn't say it was a disaster, but just all those little outplays by Secret, where like the bottom lane gank, whereas I thought he could go for a kill, ends up Fear getting the double. Then they had a follow-up kills for Universe's Puck.
Ooh.
Every little engagement was going their way.
Oh, you want to hear something interesting? EG has to play 2 more games today. One of them is Cloud9, the other one is Big God. 2 hard games. Big God, they can definitely beat EG. Cloud9, it's one of those 50-50, but these teams have so much history playing against each other, right? I wouldn't be surprised if Cloud9 takes a game out of EG. If EG finishes 10-5, Big God winning versus EG should finish at least 10-5, and because they have the tiebreaker, will be on top of them. And Navi, if they win their match, which they have right now after this game against Tongfu, which should be easy one, could potentially put EG from 2nd to 5th place.
Yeah. Well, it'd be a 3-way tie, so I don't know how all those head-to-heads would work.
Navi favors EG and Big God favors EG because
So,
they will.
okay. So, yeah, they'd both be in. Okay.
I mean, Big God hasn't played,
Yeah,
but for that scenario to happen,
I see.
Big God should beat. So very interesting things going on. We were talking a little bit about the other teams as well, and Cloud9. I was talking. Shout out to Sun Tzu because he made all the possibilities of what needs to happen for every team.
And there are a lot of possibilities.
And there are a lot of possibilities. So the teams that matter are Hellraisers. If they get 1 win, they're probably through. C9, they have to win versus LGD, or they have to win the other matches and wait for other results to go.
Yep.
And that is the most important part of who gets top 8. As to 12 to 13, if we can look at the bottom 8, what we will see is that eHome is at risk, CDEC is at risk, and HGT is a team that could be out of that.
How's Tongfu doing? Are they borderline or?
No, Tongfu is doing pretty bad.
I mean,
we'll see it right now in a second.
Okay.
Just give it a second. Give it a second. Okay.
Yeah, take some slow, deep
Wait
breaths.
for it.
Wait for it.
Wait for
It
it.
will come.
Dude, you look like Ash right now.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah.
I'm a big Pokemon fan.
Actually,
gotta
this
catch
is
them
the
all.
outfit.
I wanted to say that even though EG's lost, America still won today. The Patriots
I don't know, man.
standing strong for America when the boys in blue couldn't.
I just can't get over like a white Ash. You know, just like LD. He's like,
Ash is pretty white.
he's like, get him Pikachu, and it's just like Merlini hopping out of a Pokeball.
Why would I be keeping Merlini as a Pokemon?
Because I feel like of all the people that would willingly be a
That's-
Pokemon, it's Ben.
I don't think anyone would willingly be a Pokemon. You have to live.
I don't
in
get into
ball all
but
the
he'd
time.
get into scraps. Like out of all the people getting into fights, I could see Ben getting.
Is
in
Ben
there.
really the most likely person to get into fights?
No offense to anybody
like
here,
the-
but I feel like he's the most likely to win a
I
fight.
think
here.
Brian. I think if Brian would get angry, he would go into a fight.
We'll see. I guess. Let's
I'm not
get a
gonna-
little
I'm gonna-
fight
I'm not
Ryan
gonna-
likes to argue with words.
I see.
He's a debate master.
A debate master.
I just feel like though, if there was, by the way, like a studio fight, like a fist fight, join Dota, we would crush you guys.
You have Cap, who's like
Yeah,
an
okay,
expert.
yeah,
exactly. That's what I was gonna say.
That's
That's what I would just like hide behind him and be like push him forward. He would be my Pokemon.
We'll swarm him and then we'll deal
I
with the
think
rest.
Draskil would beat Cap 1-1.
What?
Old man strength. Old man strength.
It's
just
the
like-
experience of knowing when you're
Yeah,
40 years old,
exactly.
no one's gonna really go all out
He's
on you.
beating Nam, you know.
World War II, you know, this is nothing compared to that.
But yeah, anyways.
He's got the scars to prove it.
Yeah, absolutely. So here it is. So right now, 4 wins is for CDEC, Tongfu, eHome, and potentially Rave and HGT are there. LGD could lose everything and end 6-9. That is a very unlikely scenario. But other than that, Rave has, I think, 1 easy game, which is no, never mind. Rave has to play. No, wait. Where's the other game? They have to play Hellraisers, which is gonna be tough, and they have to play eHome, which could be a washout.
Out of those teams, I think Hellraisers I feel the most confident
Yeah.
about.
I think eHome will do well because eHome has to play versus MVP today, so I think they are safe. Same with CDEC. CDEC has to play newbie, so I think they're safe. So it would be between LGD losing everything, which is unlikely, eHome, Rave losing both games, which is slightly likely, or most likely HGT losing everything, which has really tough matches to death because they play Vici Gaming and IG. So if I had to bet, I would say Hyperglory team is the team that might get bottom 4.
Yeah, I would agree. I think I'd take HGT out of those.
Fair enough.
And I don't think Tong Fu makes it either.
No. That is life, gentlemen. And if
Okay.
you want to see if Tong Fu can make it, you can stay here for a little while. We will go into a break. And when we come back, we will have Tong Fu playing
Navi.
Navi. Yeah, I was gonna preface that with like
He's getting a little uppity, isn't he? You know, first he's trying to
Adjective.
talk smack, now he's trying to take over your hosting duties.
I'm really nervous right now. That's the main reason.
Why?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, he knows what's going to happen when the cameras go off in about.
I'm
1
gonna
second.
just like walk in with a black eye. BTS is the best.
CDEC beat MVP and
Yeah.
eHome just beat Newbie.
Okay.
So again, can we get updated brackets? Yes.
Things going kind of as
Okay.
expected.
Let's
for
take a
those
look
matches.
at the bottom 8 once again, since all those teams are in the bottom 8. Please don't break. Please don't break. Brian 2015. Yeah. Excellent. So now we have eHome slightly away with 1 less game than CDEC. CDEC with 9 losses and Tongfu bottom there. Newbie and MVP Phoenix 1-13, 1-13. Will any of these teams take 1 more win? If they end up tied, the funny thing is Newbie will be last and MVP will be second because MVP.
It would only be fitting if Newbie were last after the way this tournament is going.
Get it, MVP?
Just to rub it all in.
So yeah, eHome slightly safer than before, but still not too sure. I think 5 wins might not be entirely safe to get out of that bottom 4, but we will see. Because we will go in a break now, and after that we will get, as I said, Tongfu versus
Navi.
yeah.
Significantly less enthusiastic than the first time.
Well, I thought you were referring your bro. You're like,
Navi.
wait, who is the team? I didn't know you were setting up for something.
Let's go on a break. Let's punch blitz.
Don't just stream, bet now. Go to ebattle.com.